Here's a funny joke, but I'm not gonna say it on the actual.
Shut up and sit down.
Coffee with the Coaches, episode 21. We're back in the house, coming from the Mega Desk. My name's Michael. My co-host, as always, is Paige.
Good morning. I forgot to ring the bell.
Ring it now. It's never too late. And we've got Sam Thomas back in the house. What's up, Sam?
Hello.
He's here.
I'm very excited.
Well, let's just jump right into the dad joke.
Okay.
Sam, you going to go first?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, I'll go second, and then Paige will bring up the rear. Go ahead, Sam. He's chomping at the bit.
Okay. Okay. All right. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
A fish wearing a bow tie.
Yes.
I don't know.
Sophisticated?
Oh
That's good. I like that. Oh, wait.
Can I get the good one?
Yeah, I'm going to need to give you the...
Is that the good one?
hold on. I messed it up.
Give me the good one, damn it.
Here you go. You get a rim shot, and you get some applause.
Woo!
Oh no.
I screwed up and told Sam about the sound effects before we ever got started. So, he had to have it.
I brought my A game.
You did. Good job, Sam.
All right, so here's mine. What is Yoda's last name? Yoda Leihu.
Oh no.
Oh, God. You better... Yeah.
No.
All right, Paige, what you got?
Mine's pretty sad too. I've read like 30 of them right now. I can't find a good one. Why are frogs so happy?
Why are frogs so happy? I don't know.
They eat whatever bugs them.
Hey, that's pretty
I'm
good.
glad you guys laughed.
That's pretty good. I like
I'll give you applause for that one.
Oh.
Well, Sam, we got you back in the house. How you been, brother?
Man, I've been good. Everything is going right.
I know we've been talking about doing this for your CrossFit Anniversary. You just passed yours last Saturday. 7 years with Boot Heel CrossFit.
That's right. Thank you. Makes me one of the longest people here, so I'm winning against
You
most.
are winning.
I'm winning against most.
Most. Everybody except Heather.
Yeah, everyone else that's here, you
No,
lost.
actually, he's got Heather on
Oh,
this
wait.
one.
This
Oh, I do?
Yeah, he's beating me.
got
That's
Heather.
right. We had this discussion last
I'm
time.
so happy.
Yeah, we screwed up the last time we had you on the podcast, and we told you that Heather was winning on this one,
Yeah.
but you actually are winning on this one.
Oh, man, and I knew it. I knew deep inside I was. I didn't want to make a big deal, but since we're talking about it.
This is definitely going to be one that you're going to want to watch the video on so that you can see Sam's excitement.
Yes!
Well, how's the business going? Sam's fine jewelry right around the corner from us.
It's real good, man. Everything's going really well. We've got our engraving's been kicking off. Sales have been kicking off. Honestly, everything. Like, it's just been good. We've been busting our ass. But
Get a little closer to your... Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know Courtney's been helping you with the engraving.
Yes.
You got her involved in those crazy ass machines you've got over there.
I'm so thankful too. She's good. She's real good.
You're stressing her out.
I know. And I appreciate you telling me that one day not to mess with her too much at the beginning. Like a little joke about, I forgot what it was. I think she was doing a fingerprint for somebody. And I was like, yeah, you're doing this because somebody died. And so if you mess it up, you're probably going to ruin their family.
Oh, no.
and it was funny, but it was at the beginning. So she was already stressed out.
Yeah, Courtney takes this stuff way too seriously. So I knew that I needed to tell Sam, like, hey, you got to be gentle. Courtney's taking this way more seriously than you might realize.
But now she laughs more about it. She's real funny. But she's so good, man. I was talking about her the other day. The thing I like about her when it comes to engraving is you need somebody that can handle the stress, but at the same time, you need them to be upset when they do something wrong. Mm-hmm. You want them to be a little upset, but not so much that they just freak out and then walk away.
Yeah.
So she's got it. Like, she gets upset enough, beats herself up enough that you're like, all right, I feel good about you doing this. I feel good that it was a total mistake. You're going to try very hard not to do it again. Things like that. And then at the same time, she just keeps going forward.
Yeah.
Like, she's really good at figuring this stuff out. It took me 10 times longer. Like, I had to just, you just punch the wall. And she can find a doorknob and open it.
Yeah, I figured she'd have an easier time figuring that stuff out because she had a background in Photoshop and a lot of those computer programs that you're kind of working with anyway. Mm-hmm. And even though it's not the exact same program, just having that rudimentary knowledge of it definitely helps when you're learning something new.
Oh, yeah.
I would be lost in there. I would not know where to start.
Oh, no.
Is it bonkers in there with Mother's Day this weekend?
Yeah, it's been getting nuts. Yesterday got crazy. And then usually Mother's Day is kind of a one day before. Mm-hmm. Like Valentine's is usually 2 days before.
The guys always wait until the last minute.
So, and it's an all-man buying holiday, basically, mostly. So, yeah, usually it's Saturday. But we've been getting nuts already, so I'm so happy. And then engravings have been, like today, Courtney said, she's like, I'm going to come by in case you get some more engravings. Because Mother's Day's coming. I'm like, oh, thanks. And then this morning, a guy dropped off 30 engravings. It's like, oh.
Courtney was telling me on the way down here today, she was like, I was trying not to go down and work at Sam's on Thursday and Friday this week, but it looks like I might have to go in on Saturday too.
And we are very thankful.
By the way, I'm not volunteering Courtney for Saturday. I was just. What type of things do you typically get engraved? Is there a type, or do you really just get all kinds of things?
We get so much. The guns is kind of a new big thing. We've been doing a lot of gun work. Mm-hmm. A lot of woodwork. You get a ton of like plaques, plates, a lot of glass, like drinking glasses, a lot of those daggone tumblers. Those are like
Yeti cups.
A couple hundred a month of those. Wow. I'm trying to think about, I guess everything. Like you can engrave pretty much anything.
Yeah. Well, what was the fingerprint thing? Was that a necklace or is that a...
So yeah, and that really is... For the time I was making fun of it, it wasn't an actual person dying, but normally it is. Normally when somebody passes, they like to get their fingerprint for the kids and put it on a necklace or something on a charm just to have it. It's a cool deal.
Yeah, I guess I've seen a lot of the guns that you guys engrave, and I guess I've seen the cups, but
and you get to engrave a lot of fun stuff. Like people come in and really, Paige, women are the worst. Because like bachelorette parties, they want you to put some pretty funny stuff on glasses.
Is it just penises all over
pretty
everything?
Much. Like giant penises. And we're pretty good at what we do. We got a lot of attention to detail, so we don't have asset. But it's the best. Like they're so raunchy. I freaking love them.
That's hilarious. I didn't get to see any of those.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out your portfolio. I want to see what this looks like.
That is not on our Facebook.
Oh, I forgot about this, but Amber actually got me this at Target earlier this week. And so I figured this had to show up on the podcast, but she found me a beer glass that says the official Dad Joke Society proud member. And so I was wondering if this was something that Sam had done because it kind of looks like it's engraved, but maybe it's an overlay. I can't really
No,
tell,
Michael, it is not.
It's not?
Nope.
You're not in Target yet?
Nope.
This needs to be next on your list, sir.
It's a badass glass. I
If
love
you're
it.
putting penises on glasses, this is the least you could do.
Oh shit.
Well, do you have any special projects you're working on these days, Sam? You got anything? I know you do work with the community. I know.
Oh yeah, so we've got a real good one coming. I've got a mastermind group that we started a while back of a group of guys, and the whole purpose of it was just to help people without getting into your pocket. You know, it's pretty easy. We donate money a lot, but I wanted to do something where we can get just a group of successful people that can just help other people that are having problems in business. It's all business associated. It's nothing for personal lives or anything like that. It's just for your business. Mm-hmm. And with COVID and everything else happening, so we had a bunch of merchants get together, and we're talking about some of their problems. And I brought up this group, how they could come in and you could sit and ask them questions. And it's a group, really diverse group, old, young, all in between, and they could just help you fix any problem you have. I've used them before. Like, it's enough of these people, and it's enough of different businesses that I don't care what question you have. When you ask it, they'll come up with a solution.
Yeah.
And I started them because I wanted help, and I thought we could all help each other like that, and it worked. I've used them a couple times in some problems I was having in business. And when you're in your business, you think in your business, so you don't always think out of the box as much as you should.
It's really handy to have some outside perspective in areas like this, for sure. I've definitely recognized that over the years.
So that's like our next big thing. We've talked about trying to build a school. There's a place in Arkansas where they teach, like, it's like a trade school, but for kids. Like, it just teaches them how to get a job. And like, you go to school, but you also learn these things. Like real simple things, like how to go out, workforce, how to be a waitress, how to go work for the city, how to do anything, get a factory, but just get a job. And I thought that would be so cool. So we talked about, like, how do we build a school here without getting in our pockets and make this happen and help these kids, because there's so many jobs and a lot of these kids don't know about it. Like tons of them, because one of the guys was saying he's a farmer. They have to get all kinds of South Africans. They have to pay for them to fly here. They have to provide them a place to live. Then they provide them transportation to and from work. And these are $35,000 and $40,000 jobs on top of all this. And they have to do this because they can't get anybody to work.
Wow.
So they're flying people from another country. And you're like, that's $40,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get you 50 jobs right now. I mean, and so it's like, we're like, how do we get this to the kids? A lot of these, they just don't know. So we're trying to figure out different ways. Like, a lot of them don't. But we still have a lot that do.
Yeah.
So how do we get this information to them? And I go to schools and I get to talk to kids sometimes, but it's not enough. That's so minute.
Yeah.
So that's probably a 5 or 10 year project.
That's good. This sounds like a real kind of a gap between, I guess, high school, college, trade schools. Like, this sounds like a really good kind of picking up the gap there.
Yeah.
So
That's really cool.
who came up with this idea? This is really good. Is this one of your ideas?
That would be me.
Really?
Thank you.
Well, we need to give you one of these.
Thank you. It was good. I mean, it was kind of me. It wasn't totally me. It was my business coach. He's like, hey, man. He's like, you know a bunch of smart people that are doing well? I'm like, yeah. He goes, we'll start a damn group. Okay. So I took a couple weeks and just tried to figure out, asking certain people and things like that. It's cool.
How long have you had this group together?
Probably 8 months.
8 months.
Mm-hmm. We took about a 3-month break around the holidays and things like that, and then got back into it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is it hard to, like, not drain yourself of energy that you're trying to pour into that, along with all the other 50 things you do?
Oh, God. No,
I feel
actually,
like that would stress me out really bad.
No, this one you like, because this isn't like I belong to a lot of other organizations. You got to go in and you do got to put a lot of extra work. And this is more like you come in and you just kind of brain dump. Mm-hmm. It's great. Like it's actually healthy.
You don't necessarily have an agenda. You just come in and
you come in and you brain dump. And like if somebody has a problem, like who's got a problem this week or this month or whatever, and somebody be like, here's what's going on in the business. How do I fix this? I'm trying to do this. Or, I mean, it'd be little things like a guy could come in and say, look, I'm trying to buy this building. It's $500,000. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Bank's not going to give it to me. How do I get the loan? And then you got all these other guys that have, you got guys that are probably, 10, 20 million in things. And they're like, well, here's how you do it. Like I was looking at a major deal and I didn't have the money. And so I called the guy on the bank board, nice guy that's done well and gives back to the community. So I know he likes to help people. And I asked him to eat lunch. And he comes out and he says, I said, here's my problem. And he's like, oh, well, here's how you do it. I was like, well, thanks. So there's a way to do everything. There's no matter how out of the, far out it is, it can be done. And so that's kind of what it does. It's just awesome. You just go and you brain dump, they brain dump back. It's so great. It's healthy. It's very healthy.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm kind of with Paige on that though too. It does sound pretty stressful.
Yeah, but it's like, cause you don't have to really bring much, just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What I was thinking of is the whole school thing, because I'm thinking about, you have all these kids that just don't want to work. Like I know so many people with teenage kids that are like, they just don't want to try to like go do anything. And I'm like, oh my God, I'd be shaking that kid. Like what's wrong with you? But, and you have kids that are involved in so many other things. They don't have time to work, honestly, because they're, if they do 2 different extracurricular activities, there's 0 spare time for them to do anything else, which...
Well, that's probably not the same kids we're talking about though, right?
Some, yeah.
Some, yeah, some no.
It depends, yeah. I run into that problem. That's a hard battle too, because I don't know like what the right answer on that is. Like, because I tell kids, I'm like, just go get a job right now. You're 16, go get a job. If you go get a job now, you're going to win.
Right.
You'll succeed in life because you're used to it.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's going to be harder. But then at the same time, you're like your kids, well, I want you to play sports and do all this because I want to keep you active. So then all these sports and they're not working. But they're putting in work in the sport, but it's not the same thing. It's not at all. I don't care what anybody says. That ain't the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just something you got to figure out.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of in that camp. I started working when I was like 16, so I had to miss out on all the sports, and then even go through college. I worked all through college, so it was just I can't even fathom having a financial support through all that, to where I could have just focused on the education. That just blows my mind. Can't even figure that out.
I know. It's like, hey, I'm going out this weekend, Ma. Can I get a 50? Oh, yeah, it doesn't work.
Nope.
Well, I know you were actually involved in something for the downtown here this past week. Weren't you working to get the outdoor restrooms?
Oh, yeah. So we got that.
Tell us a little bit about that. I know you just barely told me that story, but...
So they've done so much with our downtown. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so freaking awesome. We got a freaking fountain that has lights and stuff, and you can go out there and you push the button and it comes on at any time of day.
Splashing.
Yeah.
I sit out there all the time drinking coffee, and it's just so nice. And then they built that.
I can't wait for it to get warm so that we can get our swimsuits and just go run through the fountain like a bunch of kids.
They got the bandstand. They've put the lights. I mean, they've done so much, and so they've done all this good work. It's great. And so they finally got people coming back. Well, you got to have bathrooms. Can't always use all the store's bathrooms because, I mean, if you come to my bathroom, I'm going to look at you, and if I don't think you look right, you're not using my bathroom. I will profile you and judge you every time. And so, and a lot of it's too for insurance reasons on a lot of these other stores. You can't take the chance. There's too much bad stuff that can happen. So we need these bathrooms for people so they can come, and you need somebody's got to change a baby's diaper. I mean, you need them. Stationary bathrooms and a porta potty is not the cleanest.
Yeah.
I mean, they're clean. People keep them clean, so I'm not saying bad, but it's not as good. So we went to present it. They've been working on it a while, and then this group of people asked me if I'd head up the presentation on it, and it was awesome because I went in there to do it. We had it all ready. I mean, I took my notes. I was ready, and I go in there, and they already had it in the budget.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was awesome. I went up there.
You did all that for nothing?
Yeah, I went up there to present it because they know we've been working on this, and it's been vetoed by some other things. And then they mentioned it in the budget, and I was like, oh. I just stood up. I said, "Hey, I came to do this, but you guys already have, so thanks."
Well, it's definitely better to have it and not need it.
Yeah, I was like, "You guys are awesome." It was funny. The mayor even goes, "Yep, we fixed it before we even knew."
Well, all right, good deal. Well, let's see. We've actually got a special event coming up here at the gym. I don't even know what date. What date is do we do Murph? The Murph workout.
It'll be the Saturday before Memorial Day. So
when's Memorial Day?
It's the last Monday in May. So
Yeah,
it's going to be probably in 4 weeks, or in
3,
exactly
4 weeks.
three or 4 weeks from now. Anyway, last Saturday of the month, we're going to do it. So Saturday of Memorial Day, we'll be closed on Memorial Day, but we're going to have our whole Murph celebration.
the 29th.
The 29th of May.
Right on. Yep. So it's coming in hot.
Yeah.
If you plan on doing Murph, you better make sure you get your butt to the gym the next 3 weeks before we hit it.
Yeah, that's actually a really important part of this because Murph is obviously one of those stereotypical butt-kicking CrossFit workouts, and so it's not the one you want to just show up and do if you haven't been regular in the gym, because it'll smoke you for sure.
Right. There's a lot of risk that comes with doing a workout like that if you aren't prepared mentally before you come into it. And so obviously we can scale it a million different ways, but it's meant to be a challenging workout and something that you actually, get into the pain cave a little bit with because of the whole purpose behind the workout. It's a workout in honor of Michael Murphy, who was killed in action. And so this is something that is intended to be very challenging for each individual, but just because it is intended to be so does not mean that you need to give yourself rhabdo or a shoulder injury or anything like that from all the reps within the workout. So it's very important that you guys make it into the gym pretty consistently in the weeks leading up to, because we will be programming lots of pull-up and squat, lunge, and push-up work, and a little bit more running, kind of to progress up towards it and make sure that
to get everybody's prepared for this, this type of volume.
Right, to make sure everybody's safe going into it. So it's very important to be in attendance for that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. That's a great, that's one of my favorite things. I don't know if I could do this year. Jacked myself up a while back, and Paige is fixing that.
Yeah, well,
you can do a scaled version, Sam.
Yes.
I will make you an option.
Well, this makes a great transition into the special programming, Sam, that you've been doing with Paige. Paige has been working on fixing some of the imbalances and tightnesses that you've got.
Yeah.
So, Paige, what you doing for old Sam over
I've
here?
been cranking away. I've been killing him with 2.5 pound weights.
She has. And I ask her, I'm like, every day, I'm like, Paige, this is kind of kicking my ass. Is this okay? I'm like, is there something wrong? I ask her that. I'm like, Paige, I feel kind of weak, and I'm like, you sure this is normal?
It's kind of humbling when you're just working on stability stuff and stretches with a super lightweight, and it's just beating the crap out of you.
Kicking my ass.
Yeah. This just really goes to show how important it is, because, you've cranked away at things for so long and then caught yourself in a kind of tricky situation where, you originally came to me because your groin was messed up from clamping down really hard in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And so
coming in, going 100% right out of the gate.
Yeah. So this is, we've said it before, when you're strong and you go into something like jiu-jitsu with already having a strength base, you have to be very careful about, how you approach it, and then who you're partnered with, making sure that you don't just try to really, really overpower that person just because you can. Because we have some strong athletes in this gym, but whenever you apply that strength in different positions that you're not really used to, stuff can pop and not feel so good.
Hell yeah.
So we've been working on that, and Sam, obviously, I don't know if anybody's ever seen him do an overhead squat or anything, but so we're trying to.
Does not work.
We're trying to clean up.
I've never seen him do an overhead squat. I've seen him try it before, but
yeah. So we're cleaning some things up, working on opening up all over, and making sure that things like Murph are safe.
Yeah.
For you.
No, it's true, man. I'm the prime example. I like to go hard, and I like to win, and I like to get bigger and better and everything. Mm-hmm. And had an injury, and then didn't let it heal enough, like I know I should, and then went back and then injured it more, and then hollered at Paige and like, hey, I'm jacked up. Can you help me? And so she has, and so now we're working on not just that, but all the other ones that I've been, I guess, kind of putting off and just letting get worse and worse. Really, I mean.
Well, I think that's really good from your perspective too, because I know how hard you like to push in the gym, and obviously it's always the strong guys that seem to have the most trouble with this type of thing, because it's your mentality that gets in the way a lot of times, because we want to keep going and keep pushing through. And so, like, honestly, I'm really proud of you for backing off and working with Paige on this stuff. And it's definitely paying off. I can already tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you really want to, you're like, I just really want to push it again. I really want to push it.
But it's good.
Yeah. This is like a slingshot essentially. So, we're going to pull you back a lot, slow things down, do it right, get it to the max.
No, it's working. And I needed Paige like for this I need that leadership for something like this. And because without Paige, I'd either push it too hard, or I would just walk away from it for too long and say, well, I guess I just can't, so I have to stop for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. And that's not going to work either. Yeah. And so you need a Paige for something like this. Yeah,
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, it's just so invaluable to have a coach that can have eyes on exactly what it is that you need to do and come up with some custom programming for your particular problems. So
yeah, she's good, because Paige helps me, mentally too. Like the joking about, like when I was saying, like, man, why is this kicking my ass? I'm like, there's 2 pounds. But mentally, that'll play like on me. Strength is a big deal. Being weak is a fear factor of mine, just for other reasons.
So she's got to talk you down and be like, Sam, it's okay that you feel weak right now.
Yeah. So, and it is, but so I'll ask her, I'll get serious, and I will ask her about certain things. I'm like, it's got me worried. Like, I don't know what the deal is. What's the deal? And she's like, and she'll tell you, mentally she'll say, you're not weak. This is part of this. Yeah. But without that, your mind, it'd start playing games, or for me, Yeah.
This is a great conversation about all this, because I know you're not the only one. This comes up a lot in conversation, not just with guys, but with ladies also. So this is good. I think this is really important to talk about more often, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So some things that Sam's like, I'll just throw you under the bus and give some specific examples.
Look out for that bus, Sam. You're a penis.
So just like, holding a weight overhead, you've got a little bit of limitation and flexibility and instability on the upper part of your shoulder, basically the top of the shoulder. And so when Sam tries to hold a weight overhead, like he's shaking and trembling, and it's like a 20-pound dumbbell or something, and he's just vibrating and doing his Sam breathing. And so, it's because there's too little, it's like he's a puzzle all over, all the pieces are there, and there's like 2 little pieces that are missing right there on that top corner that we're trying to find and put back in place. It's not that the overall structure is weak or anything. Like, Sam could kick anybody's ass any day, I'm sure, but it's not anybody, most people.
Everybody except for Paige.
Anybody but me.
And Heather.
But yeah, there's just little things like that when that little piece of the puzzle is missing, it can start breaking down in other areas. And like your quads are really tight, and so it probably had your quads and adductors, so it probably had a lot to do with why when you clamped down on old dude in jiu-jitsu, those things just wanted to shred apart and start hurting pretty bad. So it's little things like that get neglected over time, that one day the straw is going to break the camel's back.
Oh, yeah. And this has been going on for years and years. And then all of a sudden, you finally say, oh, shit, I went too far. And then, but the good thing is, so me and Paige, we've only been working together on this for like, how long? 2 months?
Not even that, I don't think.
We've had like been a little over a month. Maybe.
Yeah, because you were gone for one of those weeks, so it's been like a month and a half. I know we've had 12 workouts together, because I've got them all.
So and they're not long. They're, what are they? 30 minutes?
Yeah, about 30 to 40 minutes.
And so just in that amount of time, and I've created this bad whatever over 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, or whatever, however long it's been. And just in this short amount of time, like we've already noticed a huge difference by just working with her. Just on my shoulders. I told her the other day when I was doing overheads, I've never been able to do them straight overhead. It's always out by my forehead, where you always say, don't do. Like, you guys are real clear about that every class.
And sometimes it's just not possible.
Yeah, and I've listened to, like, I don't know how many times Michael has said, put that over your head.
Or put it down.
Yeah, or put it down. And you're like, mm-mm. and then by not doing what you said, obviously it caused a problem. And so, but she's already fixing it quick.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So it's awesome.
We're actually going to do a new assessment today and see what's coming along, what's not coming along.
Oh, you guys are doing the assessment today?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I wanted to sit in on this. I've got
told you. Oh, you're
yeah,
leaving?
but I've got the no. I've got the class, the lunch class today.
Yeah. Well, it's only going to take 5 minutes.
I'll try to look around the corner while everybody's working out.
It's only going to take 5 minutes.
I was excited to see just the progress you've made since you guys started, because hell, we've been working together for 7 years now. So it's, I'm really excited for you too, because I'll be able to see the change in your movement patterns and, just how your flexibility has improved over time and all that.
Yeah.
So,
and you've already made so much progress just doing CrossFit in general because of your
for
knees.
sure.
Oh, I know, it saved me. I can't. We talked about this last time. It's not going to make sense to anybody because you use your knees so much and things like that. And even my shoulders were so bad. Remember, I was getting shots every 2 or 3 months. I'm getting a shot in my knees, getting a shot in my shoulders, and then. So you would think you probably shouldn't use those, but that's not true.
Right.
So you come in here and I start doing all these movements that is totally that, and then they're fixed.
Yeah. How long has it been since you've had to have shots in your knees and shoulders? Because, man, I was getting them
for
at least the first year or two that you were coming in here. You were still doing that, but I haven't heard you talk about that in a long time.
I was getting them all the time, and then after maybe about a year and a half in on this, and then all of a sudden I saw where I was getting them instead of every 3 months, I get one every 6 months. And then a little time went longer, and then I got one like once a year, and then I went like 3 or 4 years, and then I haven't had one since.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So this has just been slow progress over time, and now Paige has taken you to a whole new level now. That's awesome.
She is. This is probably one of the reasons I was getting them this was probably part of the problem. Because of the way I was using them and things like that. And
not using.
I wasn't doing things right.
Yeah. It's just it blows my mind how big of a misconception it is to you have back pain. Well, just don't ever bend over again. Just
don't use your back.
Squat to do everything.
Go the rest of your life without ever using your back again.
Right. It's just it's such outdated information, and it was never true to begin with, obviously, but there's just so many things out there that can be fixed that people are just avoiding. It's just very sad.
That's what we're here for. That's our mission. We're working on changing the public perception of this stuff and letting people, trying to help people see that just because you have something that hurts doesn't mean stop using it. There's lots of ways to get it better.
Right. There's a fine line though, so you definitely want to be working with someone to make sure that you're doing it appropriately. Mm-hmm. Making sure they're checking in on your sleep and your nutrition too.
How much sleep did you get last night, Sam?
Actually, last night I did sleep. I was very thankful.
Last night.
Definitely a little bit of a problem sometimes, but it's been better. It's been a little better.
What's your average per night? Do you sleep like 3 hours a night or 5 hours or?
Not used to. It was probably 2.5.
2.5.
3, maybe 2.5, 3.
What are you up to now?
No, now I've been really good. Remember I told you I had 2 months where I was sleeping every night. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And I was sleeping. And when I say I mean sleeping, I'm talking 7 hours. And remember I was waking up and I was feeling like a machine, man. I was coming in every day. I'm coming into work let's go.
And that's when you tore your body apart.
And I destroyed myself. No.
This is why you're having to have Paige put you back together. You didn't know what to do with all that extra
no
energy.
Idea. It was crazy. But now it's better. I take a bunch of that CBD stuff now, and that's helped and stuff like that. And then I go on and off on other things too, Mm. But it's helped. Sometimes you go back to, 2 a.m. peanut butter and jelly and homemade peanut butter and homemade jelly.
Of course.
It'll wake you up.
Well, Well, I've been using the Apple Watch to track my sleep now for, it's probably been 4.5 years maybe. And I've got my average up to 7.5 hours now. And that's the best mine's been in a long time.
For like 4 years?
No, probably the last 6 or 7 months. I've had my average up to about
that's
7.5 hours per night. Because for the longest time, it was 5. I was doing everything I could just to get an average or my average up to 5, and I've been working on it over time, and it's been getting better and better. And it's definitely not one of those things that you can just fix right away, but over time you can definitely work on getting your average better.
How'd you get it better?
Probably the biggest thing in this last 6 months is just getting in bed sooner. Yeah. And it's honestly helped now that we've got Amber living with us, because we've got our area downstairs and then she's got the area upstairs. And so towards the end of the day, you know, we kind of just like migrate to our own areas. So we'll just go ahead and lay down because we're trying to wind down. And I don't know, that just kind of gets me in bed and winding down a little bit quicker. Because without, you know, I guess before Amber moved in, we'd kind of just hang out upstairs and be watching TV. And then before we know it, it's 11:30 p.m. And I'm like, oh, shit, I got to get up at 6. You know?
Yeah.
So
that's a big thing, like TV. Will just,
yeah,
it'll keep your mind stimulated whenever you when you lay down. If you have a TV in the room or if you're watching TV within an hour of going to sleep, just watching that can keep your mind kind of stimulated. And so if you make sure that you turn your phone on do not disturb or bedtime mode, and, you know, don't get a damn TV in your bedroom. Like, it's just, Ryan, Are
you guys arguing about this currently?
No, we're not arguing about it. It's like he has
sounds like trouble in paradise.
He has
Strong
his
discussion.
laptop next to the bed and like sits it open and like plays Stargate every night. And so then I'm like trying to go to sleep. Then I'm like looking over. I'm like, oh.
What you doing over there, Ryan?
And then I start watching it. And so, but yeah, I have to. Sometimes I'm just like, let's just close it, turn it off. He falls asleep pretty easily with it, and I imagine he would probably have better quality sleep if he didn't watch that right before he fell asleep. But yeah, that's one thing right there. You know, trying to read or something, and when you lay down in bed, shut your phone off and turn the TV off, and you like try to read. That puts me out. Like, I'll be half a page into it, like
Really?
gone. Just because once I lay down.
Because you're reading boring ass books.
No, they're great books. Sometimes I'll like hit myself in the face with it and then wake up and like try to finish the page because it's so good. But it just puts me to sleep
That's
really
your
well.
calming activity.
Yeah. But yeah, just shutting down anything that has a light on it is really, really helpful.
Yeah. Well, is there anything more to say about Murph? I know we talked about it's if you're planning on participating in the Murph workout, it's really important to be here regularly for the next 3 to 4 weeks so that you can get prepared for that.
Yeah. We could talk about how, just different ways to scale it. So what Murph is 1 mile run, and then you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats. And then you do another mile run. There's a million different ways to kind of scale this one down. Maybe you do an 800 meter run at the beginning and end. Maybe you do a 400 meter run at the beginning and end. Maybe you turn it into a row if you've got any like hip, knee, ankle issues that you need to take care of, or a bike, or, you know, just whatever. Like, we can totally suit this to you to make sure it's a good workout. Like, just because you do something different than what is written on the board does not mean that it's not going to be a tough and challenging workout. Maybe you turn the pull-ups into ring rows, or you assist the push-ups with a band, or you squat to a box if you're having hip issues and can't get into a deep squat. There's just so many different ways to do this, and obviously scaling the volume down. So maybe doing a third of everything or just half of everything, doing multiple rounds of 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. You know, there's just so much you can do with this. But so if it's something that you plan on doing, make sure that you're ready for that amount of work. It's just...
I know me and Courtney have made a tradition out of making it a partner workout every year. So we'll just half everything. I'll run half of it. She'll run the other half. I'll do half the pull-ups. She'll do the other half. So that's been kind of a neat way to make it more manageable for both of us, because I'm not an RX Murph type of guy.
Yeah.
So there's we've had people that have done it as a three-way partnership as well. So they just divide it into thirds.
Yeah, that'll give you some built-in rest time and break time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think last year I did the mile and then cut everything in half in the middle. I just did 5 rounds of 10, 20, 30, and then went out for another mile because I knew I wasn't ready for it. I hadn't done that volume of...
That's when we were coming off all that quarantine stuff too, right?
Yeah,
We had to put it off a little bit.
And I had trained for the powerlifting meet before that, so I wasn't very CrossFit-y at the time. But yeah, there's just so many different ways to do it. So if you guys are intending on doing that workout, just make sure that you keep those things in mind before going into it, because it's awesome. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. We're going to run by the beautiful new fountain in Sam's Fine Jewelry.
That's a great workout. That's one of my favorites. I think, and scaling it and everything else is awesome. I think the best thing about that, anybody that does it, the feeling of accomplishment. When you finish that workout, whether you scaled it or not, it's impressive.
Yeah.
That'd make you just feel good.
Yeah. Plus, it's a good team, or not team building experience, but just a good community gym experience as well, because you get a lot of people in here doing the same thing. There's obviously a story behind it. There's a reason for the event, and it's one of those ones that is pretty much CrossFit accepted around the United States for sure. It's one of those that almost everybody participates in, kind of as a just a Memorial Day thing these days.
Yep.
So it's a cool one.
Ask any CrossFitter what they're doing on Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
Murph and probably some barbecue.
Yeah.
All right. So before we finish this up, I was asking the girls at 4:30 last night if they had any ideas of some questions I could ask you, Sam, since you're going to be on the podcast. So Grace and Callie said they had some of their, what did they call it? It's some of the lingo they use, and they wanted to know if you could figure it out. So there was one in particular that they were talking about. They said, "Do you know what Norts are?" Norts.
No, hell no. What the hell's a Nort?
I didn't know either. And
I
when they
didn't
explained
either.
when they explained this to me, it pissed me off.
I want to know what this is.
But they were talking about running around the park and something about their Norts, and I was like, "What the hell is Norts?" Apparently, it's Nike shorts. And they just said it like I was supposed to know this. It was just like, Nike shorts, duh.
Like the Mean Girls.
What the hell is wrong with them?
So now that you know, kind of, it's a contraction. So then there were 2 others that they
Sam's
were
got
talking
some
about.
Norts.
You got some Norts?
Those
Them
might
ain't
be
Nike.
Those might be Adidas.
So the other one was, they were talking about wogging, which is apparently a walk jog.
Wogging?
Kidding me?
And so with this, I'm done with them. I told them I'm not
Jesus.
talking to them
Power
anymore.
I mean, I'd like to drink with them just to listen to them after this, but
Oh my gosh. They're so funny.
Yeah, they're super hilarious.
I'd like to give them some shots.
Grace's face, so the Grace face.
Yeah.
Her faces kill me.
She's funny, man.
She kills me.
We were doing that workout the other day. We're like, "You ready?" She's like, "Whatever." She gets up and do it. She's like, "Yeah, whatever, man."
I've always thought that dry sense of humor was the funniest thing in the world. And Grace has got it nailed
got it to the
down.
max, man.
She has got it nailed down. And it makes me mad that I actually find her funny, but I'll never admit it. I'm going to delete this part of the podcast so she doesn't hear me. Well, I guess we probably need to wind this thing up. I know we've got the lunch class coming up. I know you got to do this reassessment thing. So
Yes.
I think if we cut it off here, I might actually be able to sit in and see how much progress you made.
Yeah,
Hey, I
let's
would
see
like
it.
to say one more thing too.
Yeah.
To everybody listening, like I've talked about this before. CrossFit for me is my church.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. But I think a lot of people that haven't done this, you need to come give it a shot. Mentally, we all have our own problems and things like that. I obviously have a lot of them. It's clear. Everybody knows it. This is not anything that nobody knows. But this place is so good for you, for your health. I mean, your mind and your body. It's very amazing. You need to just try it. We get one life. Try it.
This is coming from the prophet Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, that really means a lot to me, man. I'm glad to hear that. Glad that I know we put a lot of energy into trying to provide a good service, so I'm glad that it comes across that way.
It's positive, man. That's what I tell everybody. Anybody I talk to, I'm like, you need to go there. And the first thing I say, I'm like, it's a positive environment, and that's what you need. You need positive. So, good job, y'all.
Well, thanks, Sam.
It's people
You're
like
welcome.
you that keep it that way.
Yeah, screw you, Paige. No, I'm just kidding.
Why, you crying, Sam?
I'm gonna cry like a little bitch later.
All right, let's wrap it up there.
All right.
We'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.